Obviously, a very emotional day for myself and our staff and our players. We have a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Christ and everything he's done for this program.
Wisconsin football moving on from head coach Paul Christ. What's next for the program?
A call for action over a stolen Kia and the dealership tasked with protecting it. Why they won't pay for all the damages.
The light of dawn now breaking on what will be a good start to the upcoming week. We'll talk about the end of it, too.
Yeah, big change in store for your week, folks. Happy Monday. Good morning. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now this morning. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Man, if you're a Wisconsin sports fan this morning, you are trying to find something to be happy about. I mean, we got an ugly win from the Packers yesterday. Brewers lose. Their playoff hopes are all but gone. And head coach Paul Christ out for the Badgers. A lot to break down this morning.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be the cooler talk of the morning at work today. We're going to have some analysis coming up from Jim Rutledge of ESPN Madison. That's coming up in this hour.
And I've got questions.
Chris Stanford has questions.
I've got questions.
But we want to start with your first warn forecast because it's a beautiful start to the week. Let's focus on that.
I know. I was going to say, I'm glad this is the calm part so everyone can focus on the storm that is sports right now. But that being said, we're already looking at that light of day coming up over the horizon to the east. We're going to see a beautiful sunrise. There are very few clouds in the sky on the horizon, and you will see very few clouds in the sky at all today. High pressure is really going to be large and in charge. 42, that's where the temperature does stand right now. The dew point at 40. We'll see if the temperature decides to drop another degree. But otherwise, we're at 42, and we're pretty much at your morning low. 38 in Watoma, 37 in Watertown. Meanwhile, 48 in Mineral Point, 51 in Prairie du Chien. So we're seeing a little bit of a spread from east to west as you go throughout the morning. As we look ahead, we're back into the 50s by 10 o'clock. Lunchtime, we are at 61. We will top out at 67 throughout the day. Doppler track, all quiet for us, but we do see some showers. Back to our west, it's a slow-moving system that'll increase our cloud cover a little bit as we start to move towards tomorrow. Then eventually we'll see a strong cold front moving on into the picture. Your first warn traffic looking smooth across the Madison Metro as well. You know the goal. Let's keep it that way.
All right. Chris Reese, thanks for keeping an eye on that for us. We appreciate it. Developing overnight, interim head coach Jim Leonhard is the likely candidate to keep the head coaching job for the Badgers after this season.
Athletic director Chris McIntosh says, though, they'll still be conducting a pretty wide search for the program's next full-time head coach. It comes after the university let Paul Christ go yesterday in some huge breaking news yesterday that broke right during the Packers game. Chris started the season 2-3 this season. McIntosh says he sat with Chris to talk about the program long-term yesterday, and this is the conclusion they came to. McIntosh says it was the right time to make the change.
I would just comment more holistically on where we're at. The expectations of our program at Wisconsin are to win championships, and I felt that it was time. It was the right time to make a change to pursue those.
We are seeing a lot of reaction this morning, including this from Braylon Allen, who said that anyone who wants Coach Chris gone isn't a part of this team. Overnight, junior outside linebacker Nick Herbig tweeting out a tribute to Chris, dedicating the rest of the season to him. Some former Badgers responding to the firing overnight as well. Former Badger defensive back Madison Cohn says he's super thankful for Chris and everything he has done for him. And former fullback Alec Ingold simply tweeting a broken heart with Chris initials. We expect to hear more from the program and the players to start off the week, and when we do, we will be pushing out those details through our mobile app. If you don't have the Channel 3000 app, just download it wherever you get yours.
All right, to a little bit better sports news out of Wisconsin this weekend. The Packers preparing to head across the pond with an overtime win under their belts against New England Patriots. Aaron Rodgers and company obviously wanting to keep their win streak going, but the Pats not making it easy. They head into the fourth quarter tied up at 17. Bailey Zapp hands it off to Damian Harris, and he barrels in for that go-ahead score there. Rodgers, though, he answers on the next drive with his 500th career passing touchdown, and that score is going to hold through regulation, get them into overtime. That's where Mason Crosby plays hero here. He drills a 31-yard field goal, allowing the Packers to edge out the Patriots 27-24.
It's never easy winning in this league, and certainly there's a lot of things that we need to do better, but, you know, bottom line is we found a way when we needed to, and we made just enough plays to come out on top. You know, we talk about how do you respond to adversity, and I thought there was a lot of adversity throughout the course of the game, and our guys, you know, stuck together.
Next week, be sure to wake up early. The Packers playing their first ever London game against the New York Giants. That game will only be on NFL Network. That's where you have to stream it. Kickoff is at 8:30 a.m.
Now to some breaking news from overnight. A 37-year-old man is dead after driving into a barn in the town of Sun Prairie. Investigators say that the man was driving north on Prospector Lane at about 9:30 last night, crossed into Highway 19, then drove onto private property and into the barn. He died at the scene. Highway 19 was closed for about 2.5 hours because of the crash. Now, it's not necessarily news anymore to hear about a stolen Kia or Hyundai because it's just become so common.
But what if your car is stolen while in the possession of a business that won't cover the full cost of the damage? We have that story in this morning's Call for Action.
My car was attempted to be stolen on June 22nd of this year, and for whatever reason, they got spooked off.
Adele Mack had to walk to meet us this month in downtown Madison because her Kia Optima is currently undrivable.
They smashed in my back passenger window and then destroyed my ignition. The cops were like, they're going to come back and finish this job off. You need to move the car, like, ASAP.
But the thing is, that attempted theft happened 4 months ago. She took her car to Rustero Kia to get it fixed with explicit instructions to keep it inside and protected.
And my car was, like, hot, like, it was like flashing lights around it, you know? Like, all the work had been done. All they needed to do was the last little step of starting the car, really.
That's exactly what happened. Adele got a call about a week later from Rustero, alerting her the car had been stolen off their lot.
They said that my car had just been, like, mangled. They took it off-roading. They took it down the bike path back behind Kia on the west side.
We drove by Rustero and saw the car's damage for ourselves, still sitting outside. So when she asked the dealership to cover the cost,
their insurance adjuster came back and said that they were not going to be held responsible for anything that happened to my car from it being stolen off their lot. It was not their fault. They didn't care.
Well, I can tell you that people are kind of afraid, right? If you go out and you buy a new vehicle or a newer vehicle and think that it's going to be safe and an investment for you, and then come to find out it has this vulnerability.
Certain Kia and Hyundai models are missing a key anti-theft device, and viral social media videos show thieves how to exploit the issue. It's working. The Highway Loss Data Institute shows these models have a theft claim rate of 2.2 per 1,000 insured vehicles. The rest of the industry combined is at 1.2.
Obviously, it's really concerning. And so right now we're working with the community to make sure that they understand that prevention is going to be our best avenue in this.
Madison police have teamed up with Hyundai to hand out hundreds of wheel locks this summer. They still have some available, too. You can also find them on Amazon for relatively cheap.
$30 to $60 for a wheel lock is going to save you hundreds or thousands of dollars in headaches and vehicle damage if your car was stolen.
We got one for Adele. Once she gets her car back, Rustero still has it. We asked them repeatedly to go on camera to tell us what happened here and how they're working to make sure other customers' cars are safe. Here are some of the questions we asked of the company. Why won't your insurance or your company cover Adele's damage done on your property? What's your security plan to avoid this sort of scenario from happening again? And do you use these relatively cheap wheel locks as an extra layer of safety for these cars, especially the ones that aren't yours? Here's what we got in response via email, saying in part the dealership is working to resolve the issue with Adele. Quote, just as we do with any customer issue. We have measures in place to help secure all inventory, both customer vehicles as well as our own, to the best of our ability. Vehicle theft is an issue not isolated to this incident only. As far as Adele's case, Darrow gave her a rental for a few weeks and did offer to pay for her deductible, so her insurance could cover the costs.
No, it's their fault.
She told us she wants them to take more responsibility.
It's crazy and it's wrong, and I can't believe a business would run that way, and it's insane.
Now, Rustero has since taken its rental back from Adele, so she's had to spend her own money, hundreds, if not thousands at this point, on rental cars to get around. The dealership, by the way, still has her vehicle.
I'm trying to have empathy for everybody involved here. But trying to think of if it wasn't a car, if it was something else, if you gave your vacuum to the vacuum repair shop and something happened to it, like you just expect for the business to make it right, and that you wouldn't be on the hook for it, and that you wouldn't be liable with both with auto insurance. It's never easy, is it? Everything's so complicated, it always seems.
We gave the dealership multiple opportunities to go on camera and explain what happened here. We emailed them questions and asked for them to email responses to those questions. We still got to know. I should note again, they are offering to pay her deductible, so her car insurance covers it. It's not like they're saying
not enough
we're
for Adele,
washing
though.
our hands of this. But in the meantime, they still have her car. It's still broken. It was sitting outside for days, if not weeks.
And she's stuck paying all that money for rentals and everything else, and the inconvenience, the time. Boy, what a headache. I certainly understand why she's trying to make this right.
Yeah, it's an interesting case, that's for sure.
Coming up, raising awareness. We'll tell you how a couple of events are doing some good in Dane County.
It's our biggest sale of the year, and you can save big
on quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale and help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
The radical left hate America and riot in our streets. They indoctrinate our children to hate America, stoking fear and envy with their lies and deceptions. Their radical woke agenda and divisive politics are tearing our country apart. Here's Mandela Barnes.
Because the founder of this nation, awful.
Mandela Barnes is a radical leftist. He supports their woke agenda that's causing you and your family so much pain.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get back to your health and fitness goals by joining Anytime Fitness for just $1 now through October 7th. Let us help you turn no I can't into yes I can. Now through October 7th, join Anytime Fitness for just $1. Hurry in today.
People remember ads with young people having a good time. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a pool party.
Good times insurance.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Brothers Maine has been family-owned since 1938. Some of us were born into this family, and others chose to join through the years. And we know you can't replace family, but you can replace appliances, and Brothers Maine is here for you when one breaks down. Our in-house team has delivered ranges to washers to refrigerators to hectic households in a pinch, oftentimes the next day. Just because an appliance breaks down doesn't mean you have to. We're not big box. We're Brothers Maine, and we want you to feel like family here.
How do you use your energy? Inspiring a spark of creativity? Working hard to reach your goals? Thinking outside the box to bring your vision to life? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power, we're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
I worked on the force for 30 years. I've seen plenty of politicians, but Mandela, he's the real deal. Mandela doesn't want to defund the police. He's very supportive of law enforcement, and I know his objective is to make every community in the state of Wisconsin better. I trust him to get the resources that we need to keep people safe and to reduce crime in the first place. As a retired cop, I want someone like Mandela. Mandela is the right guy for the job.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
It's our biggest sale of the year, and you can save big
on quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale and help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back. A busy week in downtown Madison for traffic as the World Dairy Expo kicks off. A week of competition and education at the Alliant Energy Center. Let's take a live look at the Beltline and John Nolan. Traffic's starting to pick up on your Monday. Whether you're headed to the event or not, you're going to be impacted on your drive downtown. Here's that first warn traffic note for you. You're going to be busy around the Alliant Energy Center all week. particularly this morning and then Friday when the event wraps up and folks head home. You can expect delays on the Beltline, specifically at the John Nolan and Rimrock Road exits. Either avoid the Beltline as you head downtown or give yourself a little extra time to get to your destination. Inside the Alliance, meanwhile, leading experts from the dairy industry are coming from all over the country.
Our Shane Hogan is there this morning, checking things out. Hey, Shane.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, we are here in the big trade show room. That's where we are today. And joining me right now is Bill Hageman. He is the board president of the World Dairy Expo. And Bill, we're talking about the big trade show happening. This kicks off tomorrow. A little bit of a scheduling change this year. But what are you expecting for this portion of the expo?
Well, we're very excited to welcome back our trade show and commercial exhibitors. We have over 650 commercial exhibitors that will be here, global companies, 24 countries represented, 44 states. So we get diverse global participation and really focus on what's new in the dairy industry on that side of the business, innovation, technology. So there's a lot of anticipation and tremendous amount of excitement.
Yeah, that's right. Kind of getting that full feel back here at the expo, you know, moving on from those lean pandemic years. But you talk about innovation and all of these companies coming here. What does it mean to be here in Madison to have all these different organizations showing up?
Well, it's an opportunity for collaboration and communication between the organizations, but more importantly for them, it's an opportunity to show off what's new and what's cutting edge in technology. The dairy industry, like many, is moving at a fast rate. Everything's changing and evolving, and so people come here, consumers, clients, and other companies, to see what's changed, what's on the horizon, what are people talking about, what kind of technologies and new techniques can they incorporate to make their business model better. It's very exciting.
Right, and we were talking a little bit earlier kind of about the opportunity for everyone else to learn more about these companies and you know, get to learn more about their processes as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's not a job fair per se, but there's an opportunity here for people, young and old, that are looking for new changes in their career path, to look at opportunities in business. Everybody here is probably on the same path, is also looking for new labor and opportunities there. So many chances to collaborate and find out what's going on and who has new jobs.
Yeah, and you know, just here showing up, this is my first time here, but I feel the energy. I feel that, you know, there's a lot of things moving on. So Bill, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. And the trade show, that kicks off tomorrow. Again, that's happening starting on Tuesday. A little bit of a change this year, but I tell you what, guys, here in the big trade show hall, you can see why there's a lot of excitement surrounding the event this year.
Yeah, going to be a big week for lots of area farmers, lots of industry experts too.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Shane Hogan, live at the Alliant Energy this morning. Thank you, Shane. On the west side, hundreds of people who've had their lives affected by Alzheimer's walked to end it over the weekend. The walk, which was a little more than 2 miles, began and ended at Val Phillips Memorial High School. Before the walk officially began, the state's First Lady, Kathy Evers, gave opening remarks speaking about her work with the Aging and Disability Resource Center to make the Wisconsin Executive Residence an officially designated dementia-friendly space. All the money raised over the weekend will go toward advancing the care, support, and research efforts of the Alzheimer's Association.
The money that is raised is staying here locally and also helping to fund national research that's happening to find a cure. But it's also providing us money so that we can help lead care and support programs to no cost to families in the area.
More than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, including 120,000 here in Wisconsin.
Beautiful weekend for all of the events that took place
wasn't it?
this past weekend. We're starting out the week with some similar weather. Chris Reese with all the details. Chris.
Yeah, it's warm now, but by the end of the week, we're tracking changes that are moving into the picture as a pretty strong cold front starts to work its way on through here. Arriving by Friday, I'm talking highs in the 40s and 50s, lows near 30, and yes, a freeze is one thing that will be possible a little bit later on this week, so we'll keep a close eye on it. It's not one shot of colder air that I'm tracking, though. There's already one into next week that I'm following. This is the shot of cold that will arrive by this weekend. Notice the core of that cold, more so to the north and east. As the weekend goes on, it gets a little bit warmer if you're traveling up to the north. That message is specifically for Leah. But watch what happens as we start to get towards the middle of next week. Yet another shot of cold gets ready to dive on in here. So, of course, we'll keep a very close eye on that. Your normal high now at 66 degrees. So today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, those temperatures will be warmer than average. By Thursday, we're cooler than average. Friday, we are much cooler than average with the high down right around 48 degrees. Headed out the door right now, it is 42. It is 48 in Boscobel and Lone Rock, 46 for Monroe, 41 in Janesville, Watertown at 37, 43 in the Dells, right here in Madison. That temperature is at 42. Calm air. Dew points down into the low 40s as well, but temperatures over the next 12 hours with the drier air and with the sunshine, you're going to see a big jump. So we're topping out at 67 for a high later on this afternoon. There are a couple of showers to the north and west. Those showers stay away from us because of the drier air that we have in play, and that also creates the beautiful forecast that we do have. Some of you, especially farther to the south and west, you'll likely make it into the 70s today. Enjoy that. If you didn't hit 70s today, you'll probably do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is another awesome day. We're topping out into the low 70s, maybe some mid 70s across parts of the driftless region for your Monday or Tuesday rather. That being said, another shot at 70 for Wednesday. Then we start to see our chances for some showers, and then you see the cool down. Keep it in the 50s throughout the whole weekend.
All right, Chris Reese, thank you very much. Looking forward to a lot of very fall-like weather in the forecast. Rollover in Minnesota left some pretty interesting video of some livestock on the interstate. Stick around for that.
Stay with us, folks.
Help us collect kids' winter coats during Coats for Kids.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
My name's Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
Ron Johnson and China. Here's how it works. While in the Senate, Johnson made $57 million from a family business whose growth was directly linked to China. He invested in Chinese factories, and Johnson's family business got $50 million in loans from the Bank of China. Johnson pushed for shipping American jobs overseas, while he got rich. Ron Johnson's out for himself, not us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
I'm Bob Adcock with Circle A Land and Livestock, and this is my John Deere. We've been with Sloan Implement since my father started farming, my grandfather started farming. They are a family business that's been around for generations, and that's very important to us. The personnel, the customer service that they provide, it's maybe not, you could say Sloan's first, but they put customers first. And that's why I think Sloan's first.
Reviews are very important. It really reflects on how we're handling customers at Precision Door. It's feeling like I'm helping out my neighbor. Quality service quickly from a name you can trust.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Jam out on the strength machines and get down with some dumbbells. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
Ron Johnson's at it again, lying about my taxes. Let's be clear, my taxes are paid in full, but there were times I was getting by on peanut butter sandwiches. And that's why I support a tax cut for the middle class. Put more money in your pockets, because I know how hard you work. But Johnson used his Senate seat to write a loophole that gave huge tax cuts to himself and his biggest donors, leaving us with crumbs. And that's how we get left behind. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobuson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
Welcome back. We always ask you to share your morning with us. Jackson posted this on social. Quite a stunner of a sunrise, really colorful.
I like it.
What color isn't in this picture?
It's like Lisa Frank painted this back in the 90s. And then put it on a notebook for us.
Lisa Frank.
It's those super colorful, never mind.
Like a trapper keeper?
Sure, yeah.
Cool.
Fluorescent.
Hey, thanks for sending in the picture, Jackson. We really love it. I like the pine tree in the foreground, the nice little silhouette there. It reminds me of North Central Wisconsin. If you want to share your morning with us, use the hashtag MyNews3Morning when you post on social media.
Wouldn't be a morning if something didn't go over your head. Yeah.
You're not
We got to
wrong.
sneak that in somewhere in the show. Trending this morning near the Twin Cities, a group of pigs spotted near the intersection after a semi carrying the livestock rolled over.
Look at the video. It happened around 6 o'clock yesterday evening. Everyone's just fine after the crash, but take a look there on the right of your screen. You see some pigs just hanging out.
There they are, yeah.
Minnesota State Patrol says they were working on some delays because of this for several hours. Those are some pretty decent-sized hogs there.
Substantive.
That's one way to put it.
That's some bacon.
That's one way to put it. Gosh, and this is already a very busy part of the city as well, and to have these kinds of backups, oh, what a headache.
I mean, if you've got to be backed up on the interstate, you might as well have something to look at, right?
Yeah, but who all got to see it? You know, that's the issue there.
That's why we bring the video to the masses, Chris. Make sure everybody can enjoy this beautiful commute.
Good stuff. Hey,
oh my gosh.
Anybody heading to the bus stop this morning? What do they need?
They might be headed. I'd grab a hoodie. That's for sure. Temperatures are in the 40s headed out.
Weather.
Mid-60s as you're headed home. So, I mean, not too shabby. You've got the sunshine as well. It's not really windy, but I'd grab a hoodie.
Good stuff. All right, Chris, thanks. Hey, look at that sunrise, folks. Gosh, later and later.
I know.
I know. Stick around. We're back right now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
Get the last roof you'll ever need right now with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing offers the best wind resistance and superior hail resistance. It's the choice of more and more homeowners in the Midwest. Steel roofing is available in cut-to-your-length panels for fast installation. Choose from 25 beautiful colors in-store or online. Save big money and get 11% off all steel roofing products right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Women are being watched, tracked through their cell phones. Tim Michaels Families Foundation funds a radical anti-abortion group that tracks the cell phone data of women who visit Planned Parenthood clinics, then tries to stop them. Michaels wants to ban abortion even when a mother's health is at risk, and he's using his wealth to track and harass women. If he's doing this now, what do you think he'd do as governor?
If you overdraw your account, Wells Fargo gives you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with a grace period? Like accidentally parking where you shouldn't.
Hey, what about this one? Nah, that one gets an extra day. Somebody got lucky.
Like having an extra day grace period? When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Leisure Concepts has your new hot tub in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Steel and composite construction, whisper quiet perimeter insulation, ozone, UV, and salt systems on any model. Free delivery, cover lift, steps, training, and all at the lowest price. Learn to love winter fully submerged in hot, turbulent water. Get to Leisure Concepts and see almost 70 hot tubs in our packed showroom on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
Right now, a new leader at the helm for the Badgers football team. His record at Wisconsin and whether he has a shot at permanent replacement for head coach.
Also, the Darrell Brooks trial begins in 2 hours. We will look ahead to the rare and high-profile case.
And hear me out here, but what if I told you that the S word could be a thing across parts of Wisconsin before the week is over? Yikes.
The S word? Snow.
I think he means
snow. Yeah.
This is a family program, Chris.
I knew that. I knew it. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now This Morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Leah Lynchine. Thanks for waking up with us. We want to start with the news everybody's going to be talking about this morning. The Badger football team with the big change in leadership. Jim Leonard now at the top. Paul Christ is out.
Wisconsin fired Christ after starting the season 2-3. Rather disappointing. Sports director Zach Hanley was there when athletic director Chris McIntosh made the announcement public.
Tough is the best way to describe Sunday for Wisconsin football. Chris McIntosh, Paul Christ, and Jim Leonard met with the team to break the news that UW is parting ways with Christ, and Leonard will be the interim head coach the rest of the season. Now, Chris led the Badgers to 67 wins and 3 Big Ten West titles, but was just 15-10 in his last 25 games, including back-to-back blowout losses. As far as why now, well, McIntosh said it was a difficult decision, but one he had to make.
This is a decision that's based upon where we're at as a program. And, you know, I think it's important to make a decision when I feel it's the right time, given the circumstances of where we're at as a program right now. And so it's a tough time to make a transition, but I felt it was the right time.
It's our duty, you know, my duty as a coach, and to get our staff and players to rally, you know, behind him and really fulfill everything that he had envisioned for this team, which we still think is out there.
Jim Leonard called the opportunity a dream in a nightmare and said Chris told him after the change he has a ton of confidence in him, saying, quote, "He made that clear when he hired me, and he made that clear today." Outside Camp Randall, Zach Hanley, News 3 Sports.
All right, now there's a lot to talk about and a lot to look ahead for. So let's get some more analysis on the decision here and whether it'll make a difference for what's next for the Badgers.
Yeah, Jim Rutledge with the ESPN Madison up a little early to break down the decision for us. How are you doing this morning?
I'll be honest, I'm tired. I was up late. We did an extra show last night about it, too. So it's big news here in Madison.
So we were listening to that this morning. I want to hear what you think about whether this is the right decision after a slow start this season and what some might say, you know, some rocky couple of years here for the Badgers.
Yeah, and look, the Badgers have had I guess, the blessing and the curse of expectations, and it's a sad decision. But Paul Christ, he was the OC under Brett Bielema. He obviously won almost as many games as Brett Bielema, came up one short, had very similar success. But obviously something was off the last few years. 4-3 in the pandemic year, 9 wins last year, and this year being under 500, looking flat. I think all those things played a factor.
So how much of this is on Chris, and how much is on play at the quarterback position?
Well, both. If Paul Christ is the offensive guru, then Paul Christ should be accountable for the lack of development from Graham Mertz. Statistically and through the eye test, Graham kind of looks like the same player when he arrived. So that's tough as an offensive-minded coach to kind of justify you have this 4-star talent. Why hasn't he gotten better?
You laid this out pretty well, you know. Slow for that pandemic year, a slow start last year. 2-3 this year. Is this change coming a little late?
You know, maybe, but Wisconsin's always a little bit slow. For Wisconsin, this is a pretty bold move. So, yes, in other programs, this move could be late, but Jim Leonard being there is an important part for this to be able to work. And so I think the timing actually is surprising to me mid-season, but obviously McIntosh wanted to be bold and wanted to get Jim Leonard installed to change the culture.
And I want to ask really briefly before we run out of time here, does Leonard have chances at permanent replacement? replacement?
I would say he's a leader in the clubhouse. He's a very straightforward guy when he says that he does put his family first. So I think the only thing that would not allow him to get this job, and Lance Leipold, former UW Whitewater coach, is very qualified, would be if Jim Leonhard says this commitment is too much, because I think college football, being that head coach, is one of the toughest, if not the toughest job in all of football.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's Leonard's to lose right now, for sure. Thanks for your expert analysis this morning. We appreciate it. A lot to talk about in the next few days, for sure, in the season ahead.
Get some sleep or some coffee. One of the two this morning. Thanks, Jim.
All right, let's check in with Chris Reese now in your First Warn Certified Most Accurate Forecast. Hey there, Chris.
Hey, a little cool as you were getting ready to head out the door this morning, especially towards the east. That's where we're seeing more of our temperatures into the 30s to start the day. Farther towards the west, you've got 50s showing up right along the Mississippi River. Let's focus in on the Madison Metro. That's where we're seeing the same deal. 39 for Cottage Grove, Stoughton, 36 in Rockdale, Oregon at 39, but we're a little bit warmer farther to the east, 45 in Mount Horeb right now. The Dane County Regional Airport is coming in at 42. A beautiful sunrise is taking shape for us this morning as you get ready to head out the door. Planning the day, we will warm up towards 67 for your high this afternoon. Another warm day is expected tomorrow as well, but I'm tracking a shot of cold moving our way for the weekend, and I'm already sniffing out another shot of cold that could arrive by next weekend. That's going to be something to watch, but this is the reason I say, yes, it's possible. Parts of northern Wisconsin could see their first snow flurries as early as this week.
Chris Reese giving us that first warn. We appreciate it. We know you're going to keep track of it all week long. 6:35 to our other top story this morning, and happening today. The trial against the man accused of killing 6 and injuring dozens begins in Waukesha County Court. Jury selection will start later this morning. Darrell Brooks facing nearly 80 charges in all, including homicide. Brooks will represent himself against those charges at his own request. We've watched a number of dramatic court appearances leading up to today, with Brooks withdrawing his plea of not guilty by insanity last month. He also had several outbursts in court, once having to leave because of a tooth abscess, another time getting into a fight with the judge. Take a listen.
First Amendment right to be able to say what I want.
Mr. Brooks, your rights do not involve interrupting me.
We also heard from a former Waukesha County DA who says Brooks' disruptive behavior and lack of legal knowledge will likely slow down the trial. That means we could see the state pivot their strategy to move things along quicker.
Is he going to be the best lawyer? Hardly. Is he going to be a good lawyer? Hardly. He's just going to cause chaos.
Jury selection scheduled to start this morning at 8:30. News 3 Now will be live streaming the trial in its entirety and providing analysis and real-time updates via our Channel 3000 News app. You can follow along there on channel3000.com and right here on News 3 Now as the trial continues this week.
To Hurricane Ian now in the aftermath. The death toll continues to rise this morning. At least 82 fatalities are confirmed in Florida, 4 in North Carolina. President Biden is headed to Puerto Rico to tour the damage today and will head to Florida Wednesday. In some parts of Florida, flooding is getting worse. The St. Johns River in Seminole County keeps rising. Those nearby need boats to get to their homes.
We're at the deep end, so I think these first 4 houses are all flooded, and the rest are just getting flooded.
5,400 National Guard members are there supporting relief efforts, including clearing roads in Fort Myers Beach. As the new week begins, more than 500,000 Floridians remain without power. Of course, a lot of Wisconsin crews are down there restoring energy, and we are thinking of all of them. 6:37 here on your Monday morning. Outside, traffic is picking up. We've got some crucial reminders about some slowdowns expected around the World Dairy Expo. We'll get you filled in on that. And it is setting up to be a really nice fall day, folks. Chris is tracking a big front on the way that could bring in a big chill.
Looks like a little bit of fog along the Beltline, too. Take it slow on your way in on your Monday. Another sign of the season, the annual event ringing in the start of fall in Mount Horeb.
And like Chris mentioned, expect some traffic delays here outside of the World Dairy Expo. We'll touch on that, plus everything else you can expect from this year's event.
Did you know Tim Michaels said people shouldn't be openly gay in public?
But I think when you bring it out of your house and onto the public street, that's where I differ.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as your governor?
Experience does count. When you're shopping for new furniture, a mattress set, or flooring, come to the experts at McGann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo. Our experienced staff is well-trained in home decorating and will answer all your questions so you can buy with confidence. You'll find big city selection and an enjoyable shopping experience. And remember, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Come see the difference experience can make at McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
The house before you, over 30 years old, still has its original windows. Boom.
There's no need to be afraid of old windows. Call Feldco for 50% off.
It's the biggest sale of the season. 50% off Feldco windows, plus no money down and no interest until 2024.
50% off windows ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
One small step. One big surprise. A yummy treat. Out of this world toys and more fun with Apple Do to ignite their discovery of space. Kinder Joy.
Welcome to Hollywood. What's your dream?
From the big screen to the Broadway stage, Pretty Woman the musical. Coming to Overture Center October 18th through the 23rd. Get your tickets today at overture.org.
It's easier to manage my chemo side effects since the Great Supportive Care came to see me. They're taking the time to listen and talk about options for feeling better.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Did you know Tim Michaels wants to criminalize abortion, even for pregnant rape victims?
But you wouldn't support exceptions for rape or incest?
That's correct.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as your governor?
Fall TV is back on WISC-TV. Tonight, watch new episodes of The Neighborhood, Bob Hart's Abishola, NCIS, and NCIS Hawaii, followed by News 3 Now at 10. A family that fled their native Ukraine.
We are at our new home in the United States.
Susan Simon shows you how they've built a new life here, thanks to the generosity of a Madison congregation.
We'll do our best to make it home now.
Tonight on News 3 Now at 10. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Hi, Chris. I'm Elsa from Verona. Chris, plan my day.
Well, good morning and a cool, chilly morning in Verona. Not as cool as some communities. You're starting things out at 41 for your temperature in Verona. Further towards the east, that's where it's in the 30s. But still, you probably want to grab a hoodie, a light jacket as you begin to head out the door. And you probably want to grab the sunglasses as well. Not expecting any raindrops today, but we will see the chill this morning and the sun all the way into the afternoon. That being said, Doppler track actually does have some showers that try to show up throughout parts of Wisconsin, but most of this is virga. It's evaporating before it even makes it to the ground because of the drier air that we have in play. But the cloud cover we see tomorrow will be from this system back to our north and west. So sunshine today. Any raindrops you see trying to form, that's all virga. That will evaporate before it makes it to the ground. 67, that's where temperatures will top out later on this afternoon. And it'll feel good underneath that sunshine with the lower humidity too. Let's track this out. This is Verona at 4:30. You see those temperatures into the upper 60s at that point. We'll all cool down into the 40s overnight tonight. Verona, your overnight low going to be down right around 42. Tomorrow, we do it all over again, but we have better shots of making it to 70. And that's not just Verona and Madison. That's everyone has a shot at making it to 70 as we move into your Tuesday. Let's talk about the end of the week. This shot of cold, I'm going to harp on this all week long so that everyone is aware, but a shot of some true chilly air does arrive this weekend. It may bring our first freeze of the season. Another one potentially in store as we start to move into parts of next week. So by Friday, expect highs into the 40s and 50s. Lows will be near 30. And yes, a freeze will indeed be possible. In fact, here's that extended forecast. You'll see your clouds on the increase Tuesday and Wednesday. Your chance of rain, especially Wednesday night and Thursday. And then the frost likely Friday night. 48, your high on Friday.
Just in time for a camping trip up north there, Chris.
Yes, it is. It's just for you, Leah.
Oh, I appreciate it. Hey, there's sun. I'll take it. Chris Reese, thank you very much. 6:45 now. Thousands of people are in Madison this morning for the annual World Dairy Expo at the Alliant Energy Center. It's one of the biggest events in the global dairy industry right here in Madison. And it has a slightly different schedule this year, starting Sunday and running through Friday. No Saturday events here. Today, the famous Dairy Cattle Show. The trade show starts Tuesday, and the naming of the Supreme Champion comes Friday night after a week of competition, education, and networking. There is something for everyone at the event this week.
Shane Hogan is there on the grounds this morning, taking a look around and letting us know what we can expect. Hey there, Shane.
Hey, good morning, Chris and Leah. Yeah, it's been a great morning all morning long here at the World Dairy Expo. Getting a chance to check out a little bit of everything, what folks at home can expect this year. Right now, I am joined by Zach Weigel. He is a UW student who's involved here with the World Dairy Expo. So, Zach, how'd you get involved here helping out?
So I guess when I came in as a freshman, personally, I'd never been to World Dairy Expo before. But working at World Dairy Expo with my friends, they talked me into it, and here we are. I guess I had too many good memories from my freshman year, so here I am serving as general chair.
Nice. And as general chair, what are some of your responsibilities overseeing the rest of the students here?
So I manage a chair team of 15 individuals. We take care of most of the tasks in the cheese stand, show ring, and grounds. Throughout the week, you'll see a lot of members from Badger Dairy Club doing a variety of tasks. We'll have about 100 individuals in and out throughout the week.
A little loud there as we get a couple announcements over the show. We're going to take a step back here and get a little quieter of a spot, Zach. But you mentioned the cheese stand. It's always a popular part of the expo. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So the cheese stand, people are able to come in and get an American, Swiss, or especially Wisconsin cheese every day.
Always Wisconsin cheese. You love that. Always tasty and good. And now we're going to come back over here. Take a look out. We got a lot of cows here at the World Dairy Expo. Zach, what's your favorite part about the whole week?
I think my favorite part about the entire week is just the people you meet. You cover grounds, you get in front of a lot of individuals, a lot of personalities running around. I've made a lot of good memories, and actually, you know, some of the individuals remember you from years past. Yeah, I'd say that's my favorite part.
Yeah, I mean, just being here this morning, you know, getting to meet some folks like you, Zach, it's been great. So thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Good luck all week long.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, the big show happens today. You can see the cattle, things happening all week long. So something for everyone, for the whole family. Make sure you check it out. We'll have more details up on channel3000.com as well.
All right, sounds good. Shane Hogan live at the World Dairy Expo this morning. Thank you, Shane. What a beautiful weekend for events, huh? Mount Horeb's Fall Village Market is growing bigger each year. It returned for the 4th year, and they've got a lot to offer. Hence the crowds. Look at these folks. The market features unique vendors, food from local restaurants, and plenty of live music. A little different this year. They had it on Main Street for the first time. Organizers say the change was pretty successful. A lot of people attended this year, more this year, in fact, than last year.
Vendors who have sort of handmade and vintage items, but what really kind of sets it apart from our other events is that you can grab a cocktail or a drink with you and then meander through the vendors as well as our downtown.
And I'd love to hear this. A local woodworker said the event inspired him to turn his hobby into a business, and it was the first time he'd ever sold his art.
From one woodworker to another, yeah, you would be interested in that.
I'm going to look into it.
Well, side business. All right, it is 6:47 coming up in the morning sprint. New plans for nearly 2 miles of shoreline in Madison. How to hear the latest and weigh in yourself.
First, we want to say happy birthday to Jackson and all the kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us. We'll be right back.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Warrens, Wisconsin.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, Smithfield's Deli Ham, only $1.99 a pound. And 8-ounce thick cut America's Chops, only 98 cents. Monday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
Ron Johnson and China.
Here's how it works. While in the Senate, Johnson made $57 million from a family business whose growth was directly linked to China. He invested in Chinese factories, and Johnson's family business got $50 million in loans from the Bank of China. Johnson pushed for shipping American jobs overseas, while he got rich. Ron Johnson's out for himself, not us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Wells Fargo lets you know where you stand with your FICO credit score. What if you knew where you stood with everything, like your future in-laws?
Hope you like cats.
I hope your parents like me. They're whispering.
The kid is like her.
Can they tell I'm allergic? Tears of joy.
Welcome to the family.
Like knowing where you stand? When it comes to your credit score, you can with Wells Fargo.
Celebrate the fall by falling in love with a room of your dreams. This holiday weekend, you're invited to Bob's Fall into Savings celebration in all 164 stores coast to coast. You'll find complete dining sets starting at $5.99, sofas starting at $4.99, and even more savings on bedrooms, mattresses, and more, with many financing options to fit your budget, plus free yummy treats for the whole family. Bob's Discount Furniture. It's furniture worth falling for. Happens every time.
Get Bob's Discount.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know it needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
The radical left hate America and riot in our streets. They indoctrinate our children to hate America, stoking fear and envy with their lies and deceptions. Their radical woke agenda and divisive politics are tearing our country apart. Here's Mandela Barnes.
Because the founder of this nation, awful.
Mandela Barnes is a radical leftist. He supports their woke agenda that's causing you and your family so much pain.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, 8-ounce thick cut America's chops, only 98 cents. And banquet pot pies, only 58 cents. Monday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
RHD Plumbing, a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
6:51, time for the morning sprint.
Today's top story, Jim Leonard preparing to lead the Wisconsin Badger football team for the remainder of their season. Paul Chryst officially out as head coach. Athletic Director Chris McIntosh saying it was a hard decision. He met with the team last night to break the news. For now, Leonard will take over as interim. He's the current defensive coordinator, and he played as a Badger before that. Reaction from players and whether they're happy with the move is up on channel3000.com.
The city of Madison fielding ideas on how to better connect downtown to the Monona Lake shoreline while improving water quality. The first public meeting is tonight. It's set for 6 o'clock. Then next month on the 7th, the initial plans for the lakefront will be announced. The goal is to reshape 1.7 miles of shoreline from Law Park to Olin Park.
President Biden and the First Lady plan to head to Puerto Rico today, then Florida Wednesday to visit areas devastated by Hurricanes Fiona and Ian. Ian leaving millions without power along Florida's Gulf Coast. The number of those killed there is now at more than 80. 100,000 customers are still waiting for the lights to turn back on in Puerto Rico 2 weeks after Fiona hit.
Former Madison radio DJ Jackson Jones will be in court today for sentencing hearings. This is over child pornography charges. Last summer, he pleaded not guilty to the 10 counts. He was arrested at his Mount Horeb home in February of last year. According to the criminal complaint, Jackson told investigators that he uses sites like Tumblr for chats and fantasies.
Obviously, it's been a very emotional week for my family, for my wife, for myself. But very happy to get a win today.
J.J. Watt playing just 3 days after having his heart shocked back into rhythm. Watt says his heart was beating weirdly on Wednesday. That's when he found out he had AFib, an irregular heartbeat. After shocking his heart back into place and then confirming with multiple cardiologists, Watt was given the okay to play. He had 3 tackles and 2 pass deflections in the Cardinals' win over the Carolina Panthers.
And we've been live all morning long here from the World Dairy Expo. Starting in just a few minutes, the cattle show kicks off right here at the Alliant Energy Center. If you're coming this way, expect a few traffic delays on the Beltline near John Nolan Drive. We'll have all of that information up for you on channel3000.com.
Thanks, Shane. Around the Midwest this morning, 3 people are dead after a small airplane crashed into a home in northern Minnesota. 2 people were inside that home. They are okay. Officers say the Cessna 172 crashed in Hermantown near Duluth. Police say they were notified by the control tower at Duluth International that a small plane had left the radar.
The Supreme Court begins a new term with a new justice today. Ketanji Brown Jackson, the court's first black woman. The 4 women currently on the court set the record for the most women on the bench at a single time. The justices are expected to take on cases this term involving affirmative action in college admissions, voting, and the environment.
Activists gathering to celebrate the annual Great Midwest Marijuana Harvest Festival. The festival, sponsored by the Libertarian Party of Dane County, is believed to be the longest-running cannabis rights festival in America, happening every year since 1971. Speakers and musicians were out on Library Mall with other supporters of cannabis. Governor Tony Evers says that if he's reelected, he will legalize marijuana in his 2023 state budget proposal.
Gas prices back up around $4 across Wisconsin, the Midwest, and the country, and they could creep even higher this fall. There's concern this morning the OPEC oil-producing nations are considering cutting output by more than 1 million barrels a day when they meet later this week. Drivers are already dealing with an increase in prices across the U.S. because of maintenance at refineries across the country.
Ukrainian troops took down pro-Russian flags in the town of Lyman, retaking the city. Russia had been using Lyman as a transport and logistics hub and is located in one of 4 regions Russia illegally annexed Friday. Sunday, the heads of 9 NATO members backed a path to membership for Ukraine to join the Western Alliance.
Entertainment giant Disney is blocking its content from Dish Satellite and Sling TV. That means millions of Americans are without Disney, ESPN, FX, and ABC local stations. Disney says despite months of negotiation, Dish and Sling declined to reach a fair market-based agreement. Dish and Sling claim Disney walked away from the negotiating table.
Upper 30s across parts of Michigan and the eastern part of Wisconsin. Meanwhile, 60s farther back towards the west, along with some upper 50s. This to the west, that's the warmer air that we'll see today and tomorrow. Look for highs around 67 today. We'll make it towards the 70s for your highs tomorrow, but we do all get that sunshine. Later this week, it's all about the temperature drop. Yep, 48 is your high on Friday. Lows will be around freezing.
Big change. Chris Reese, thanks for that first warn. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thanks for joining us this morning, folks. Enjoy that sun. Another news update in half an hour.